All right, our goal here is to find the distance between 2 points. So let's look graphically real quick. What are we actually finding? If I have 2 points here in the coordinate plane or the Cartesian plane, whatever you want to call it, it's on my graph, then the distance is literally just this right here, the distance between 2 points. So we do have a formula to figure it out. It's the difference between my x's, and we can see that here. The distance between my x's, here's 1 point, here's the other. This is my x-axis, so we're looking for what is that distance right there. That's x1 minus x2, just that distance. And y1 minus y2, it's the distance between our y values. So again, graphically, what are we looking at? From one point to the other, up and down, what is that distance? So if we have 2 points, let's say I have 2, 5, and 3, 7. These are my 2 points. So remember that a coordinate, that's what these are, points or coordinates, is x, y. That's what a point is. So here 2 is an x value. I can make it x1 or x2. It doesn't matter. I'm going to say it's x1. And so 5 is my y value. So I'm going to call it y1. And for my second point, I'll let this 3 be x2 and 7 will be y2. There we go. So I have my x1, my y1, my x2, my y2. So I am literally just going to plug them in. x1, I'll put 2. For x2, I'll put 3. So let's plug these in. So I have my distance is equal to the square root of x1 minus x2. So x1 is 2 and x2 is 3. So I'll have 2 minus 3 squared. That's what my formula says to do. And then I have a plus sign. And now the same thing with my y value. So y1 minus y2. So we'll have y1 is 5 minus y2 is 7. And now we'll just go through and simplify. So I still have my equal sign, I have my square root, and I want to simplify the stuff on the inside first. So I'm going to go inside my parentheses, 2 minus 3. If I have 2 and I take away 3, that leaves me with a -1, and we're going to square that value, plus 5 minus 7. If I have 5 and I take away 7, that leaves me with -2. And again, we're going to square that value. So come down again. This is going to equal my square root. I want to simplify everything under the square root, and then we'll take the square root if needed in the end. So -1 squared. If I square a value, that means just multiplying it times itself. So -1 times -1. A negative times a negative is a positive, so this just gives me +1 plus -2 squared. So again, squaring a number just means to multiply it times itself. So this means -2 times -2. A negative times a negative is a positive, and 2 times 2 is 4. So I get 1 plus 4. So now we can add those together, and I get the square root of 5. So the distance between my 2 points is the square root of 5. Sometimes the homework is going to ask you for an exact answer. This is what they're looking for, that square root. If they ask you to give the decimal value, this is the approximate value, and we can just plug that into the calculator. And the square root of 5, let me find a calculator. The square root of 5 is approximately 2.236 if I round it to 3 decimal places. But just be mindful of what the question asks you for, and there we go, finding distance between 2 points.